Okay, so I want to speak about a couple of points about Hanukkah tonight. And tonight's the fifth night of Hanukkah. And there's a tradition in Chabad that there's a minhag for beg on the fifth night of Hanukkah. And so we'll talk about that, B'ezrat Hashem. And really that the point is that in the fifth night of Hanukkah is really the essence of Hanukkah. First of all, in the word Hanukkah, so it comes from the word Chanukat HaMizbeach, that the inauguration of the Mizbeach, because after the Greeks desecrated the temple, so the beginning of the new Avodah, the new service in the temple was Hanukkah. So all of this I'm right that the reason why we call the holiday after the Hanukkah is because this is a holiday of beginnings. It's a holiday of starting again, and that's why this is actually the first holiday in the Jewish year. That after everything in the Tishrei was really connected to last year. That we're talking about Rosh Hashanah, we're talking about what's going to be, and we're going to be written because of what we did last year. Then Yom Kippur, we're doing Tshuva on what we did last year, and then Sukkot, we're trying to sweeten the judgment that happened on Rosh Hashanah, which is because of last year, and then the entire Sukkot, it's all about last year. And then you take down your Sukkah, and then now you're ready for your year. Okay, and now it's next year. Now until now we're dealing with the old year now, and then so Hanukkah is really the first holiday of the new year. So this is the first. This is the beginning. This is the first celebration that we have, which is completely related to the new year, and this is something that Rabbi Nachman talks about all the time. That it's forbidden to be old. That a person needs to always be able to begin. A person needs to always have this element of starting, this Bereshit bara Elokim et hashamayim v'et haaretz. That Hashem created the world with Bereshit. Hashem created the world with this ability, with this strength, with this energy of starting again, the ability to constantly start, and that he said that it's forbidden to be old. That the zaken is a person that's too old to learn new tricks, and this is the worst thing. The worst place that you could possibly be is to consider yourself old. That it is what it is. That I'm just embracing myself, I'm accepting myself, and this is the danger of a lot of new age places that it's all about embracing, it's all about just acceptance and just it is what it is. It's fine. And that Nachman says that no, that it's not fine. It's just today's the first day of your life. Why should what people have told you about yourself until now? Why should that make a difference? Why should that dictate to you what kind of life you're going to have? What kind of person you think you should describe yourself as? That today is the first day. The sky's the limit. You can go anywhere. And so this is really the first thing about Hanukkah is about beginnings. It's about the ability to start. And what's very interesting is that the word chinuch, besides Chanukah's Hamishkan, besides inauguration, so we most people know the word from a different place, and it says Chanoch lenar al pi darkei, that we talk about chinuch as education, that we're being to be mechanech your children, your students. We call that chinuch, and so what's the connection between the beginning and the education? And so the answer is very simple, and that is that how are we able to make an impact on people around us? That if you're going to tell a person that you're bad, so how does that help him? He doesn't see that any way that he can change. He doesn't see a way that he can become anything else. That if you want to be able to have a positive impact on people around you, so the only thing that they need to know the only thing that they have to hear from you is that you're able to start again. That what you did until now isn't the end of the world, isn't the bottom line, that there is another tomorrow, there is a deeper depth inside of you that you were not aware of. And that's what I want to show you in yourself. And so really, the chinuch is all about beginnings. Chinuch is all about seeing past what already is, to see the potential in somebody, in ourselves, and to realize that I can really start, and whatever has been until now does not dictate what's going to be. Okay? So the truest chinuch is the ability to see past the surface, the ability to see that whatever is the past, and today is the beginning of something brand new. And that's really what chinuch is all about. And so it says kol hatchalot kashot. It says that all beginnings are hard. Mm-hmm. All beginnings are hard. there was a Rosh Yeshiva in America. His name was Reb Leib Malin. So he said once that this medrash that I call it Kalas Chalas Kashrus. He says, and if it's not schwer, if it's not difficult, as kinas chol then it means you didn't start. If it is that if you're starting, it's going to be hard. Okay, and so now this is actually very connected to Hanukkah because Hanukkah. So we know that when we light the candles, so there's machlekas about how we're supposed to light the menorah. That we do according to Beis Hillel, that we start with 1, we go to 2, we go to 3, to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. According to Beit Shammai, it's the opposite. According to Beit Shammai, so we start with 8. We start with 8, and we go down to 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So what's the difference between them? How come Beit Shammai says you start with 8? So it says in the Mishnah that he learns from Parei HaChag. He learns from that on Sukkot, when we bring the Karbanot. So on the first day we bring 13, the second day we bring 12, then 11, 10, 9, 8, and that's the order is you start from the most and then you go down. And so I saw from the Tzemach Tzedek, he explains that why was he learning out? Why was he learning out from Parei HaChag? Because Parei HaChag is that we're trying to make a fight against the outside forces. That the 70 cows, the 70 parim that we bring karbanos and Sukkot, so it's corresponding to the Shivim Umot. It's corresponding to the 70 nations of the world. So this is our karbanot, which is trying to decimate the forces, giving strength to all of our enemies. They're trying to destroy us, and like all of the nations of the world, they all want to destroy us. It calls the Jewish people that Kevas ben Shivim Gzeivim, that we're a sheep between 70 wolves. Who are the 70 wolves? All 70 nations. Each one is a wolf. Even the ones that seem to be embracing, seem to be nice, but it's a wolf in sheep's clothing. They're all wolves. And so in Sukkot we're trying to fight against them, and so when you're trying to fight against this huge force, so we see in Parei HaChag that how do you do it? It's the first you have the heavy artillery. You give the first day you make the biggest fight, and then you try to destroy it, and then the second day so half of the forces are already done. Half the forces are already destroyed. So then now you need less energy. Then you go a little bit less, a little bit less, a little bit less, and so on and so forth. So that is how Beit Shammai learns. That's how Beit Shammai learns that's the proper way, because Hanukkah is also trying to fight against evil. We're trying to fight against the evil of Yavan, the evil of Greece, the evil of Greek culture, and the Greek was making a battle against terror. They wanted to make a battle against our ability to have a relationship with Hashem, and we're trying to fight against this negative energy, which is fighting against our relationship with Hashem. And so they said that we have to wage war. We have to start the first day. You have to go with all of our strength, and then after that, so then it's a little bit easier. And so Beis Hillel, he says, he agrees that we're fighting, we're trying to destroy evil, but he says that there's a difference between Sukkot and Hanukkah, because on Sukkot, so it's a mitzvah from the Torah. So it's a mitzvah from the Torah, so then Hashem is bringing the Kedusha down. That it's really, we don't really have to do the fighting. That we just need to just do our thing, and Hashem brings the energy down for us. And that's the Karbanot. But Hanukkah, it's a mitzvah midrabanan. So it's us doing the work. So because we have to do the fighting ourselves, so you can't, on the first day, you can't just start out of nowhere. So you have to do it little by little, start with a little bit of a fight, of one candle, then the next, you gain momentum, a little bit stronger, a little bit stronger, a little bit stronger. And that's because the Kolas Chalos Kashas, that when we're starting, so then at the beginning, the energy that it takes to have one night, to have one candle on the first night, so that takes more energy than it takes on the 8th night to light 8 candles. That the first day is that there's so much that to go from 0 to 1 is that you have to go against all of the inertia. You have to get the ball rolling. So that takes so much energy. So that's the Kol Hatchalot Kashot. So this is the Chanukah. Chanukah is the celebration of Haschalas. That Chanukah is the celebration of the ability to start, the ability to constantly start and restart, and this is the holiday of the starting, because it's the first holiday of the year, and this is the first thing that we're celebrating, and Hanukkah is the fact that we're constantly able to restart. Okay. So the second thing we're celebrating in Hanukkah is that Hanukkah is, more than anything else, we spoke about this a little bit last week, that more than anything else, so Hanukkah is the holiday of the oral Torah, because it's the one holiday that we have that is not written in Tanakh. That Purim, even though it's also a rabbinic holiday, but it's written in Megillas Esther, and Hanukkah is the only holiday that doesn't have part of Tanakh. Okay, there is a Megillas Antiochus, but Megillas Antiochus isn't part of Tanakh, and so it's something which is completely hidden from the scriptures. Not only that, but even in the oral Torah, it's not written down. There is no tractate, there is no Masechet that talks about Chanukah. There is no Masechet Chanukah. There is Megillah. There's Masechet Megillah, and there's no Masechet Chanukah. In fact, the entire essence, the entire existence of Chanukah is only mentioned a couple of times in the Mishnayos, and completely by chance, completely that out of context, that Chanukah has some relevance for how long you're allowed to bring Bikurim, and Chanukah has some relevance in Bava Kama if your camel is walking down and it catches fire from a Chanukah candle, there's no mission that says, okay guys, 25th of Kislev, that's you have to start. It's completely missing. It's completely from the Mishnah, completely missing from the Mishnah, and even in the Gemara, it's a couple of pages in the middle of Shabbos. It's hidden from any scriptures, even rabbinic scriptures. It's something that was purposely. It needed to be an oral tradition, and it was kept that way. That this is a holiday of the Peh. It's a holiday of the Torah Sheba'al Peh. So what's up with this? So the thing about Torah Sheba'al Peh is that really the time of Hanukkah, so it actually represents a huge turnover in Jewish history. That the story of Hanukkah took place towards the beginning of the Second Temple. It's the middle of the Second Temple, towards the beginning of the Second Temple, and so what was important about the beginning of the Second Temple? This was the end of Nevuah. Okay, we had Nevuah from a very long time. Adam Rishon was a Navi, Avram was a Navi, and the Moshe Rabbeinu was the biggest Navi, and the Nevuah prophecy, so it extended throughout our stay in the conquering Eretz Yisrael. We had Shmuel, we had during the entire Nevi'im, all the Nevi'im, during Malachim, and David Malach was a Navi, and Shmuel, and it goes Eliyahu a Navi, and then even after the first temple was destroyed, so we still had Nevi'im, and it says that there were 3 Nevi'im that helped us to build the second temple. Okay, that's Chag Zachariah and Malachi. Okay, and the third, so the Malachi was the last. Malachi was the last of the prophets, and he knew that he was the last of the prophets, and that's why the very end of Malachi. This is one of the most famous prophecies that he writes. He writes two messages. First of all, Zichru Torahs Moshe Avdi. Don't forget the Torah. And second of all, Hine Anochi Shalach Lachem Et Eliyahu Hanavi Lifnei Bayam Hashem HaGadol V'Nera. That don't forget Mashiach is coming. Okay. First of all, don't forget Moshe. Don't forget the Torah. And second of all, don't give up. Okay. Those are the 2 messages that he had to give. Those are the 2 messages that he wanted the Jewish people to know for all eternity. And so so he was it was a special present that Hashem gave us to have these three prophets to help us build the second temple, because the second temple needed prophets in order to build it. This is one of the things, there's been a desire to build the third Beis Hamikdash that for a long time already. And the question has always been, like, what's holding us back? Why shouldn't we just build a Beis Hamikdash? What's the big deal? And so one of the things is that it seems from the Gemara that you actually need a prophet in order to build the temple, and there's different reasons why it says that you need to know where exactly the Mizbeach needs to be, and it seems that there needed to be a prophet in order for to build the Beis Hamikdash. So like there must be some problem, there must be something holding us back. So the beginning of the second temple, so that's where there was the last prophecy, and that's precisely when the Greeks took charge, and so there's a statement from the Gra that during the times of Alexander the Great, so that is when the Sanhedrin, that they saw that we were messing up with idolatry. They said that we were messing up with idolatry, and so they davened to Hashem to take away the Yetzer Hara for idolatry. They davened to Hashem that we should stop having this tendency to want to worship idols, and they succeeded. So the Gemara writes that because there was a lack of a Yetzer Hara for Avodah Zarah, idolatry is the greatest evil in the world. It's the greatest sin that a person could possibly do. And so if there is no ability to fall to the greatest depths of sin, so in order that there should be an equilibrium in the spiritual world, it was necessary to take away for the possibility of the greatest spiritual levels that a person can reach, and that is prophecy. So the fact that the prophecy was taken away was a result of the fact that the Yetzer Hara for Avodah Zarah was taken away, and that was happening during the times of the Greeks, of Alexander the Great. So this point of the Greek exile, so this is a huge turning point in Jewish history, and the Gemara says as follows. The Gemara says in Bava Basra that at that moment that Malachi passed away, and at that point he was the last prophet, because it was already after this time that Hashem had taken away the Yetzer Hara for Avodah Zarah. So it says that Af al pi shenitla nevuah min hanavim, even though the prophecy was taken away from the prophets, min hachachamim lo nitla, it was not taken away from the wise men, from the chachamim. So there's a beautiful statement from the Ramban in Bava Basra. This is the Gemara in Bava Basra Daf Yud Bet, and in that statement, the Bava Basra, so the Ramban says, what does it mean that if it's a prophecy or it's not prophecy? Prophecy was taken away. What do you mean? Prophecy was taken away from prophets, but it wasn't away from non-prophets. But if you're not a prophet, so of course you don't have prophecy. So the Ramban explains that what the Gemara is saying is that there's two different kinds of inspiration. That there's a prophecy of prophets, and that is that Hashem tells them what to say. And there's a different kind of inspiration, and that's the Ruach HaKodesh of the Chachamim, that they understand intuitively from their heart. They understand the truth from the depths of their heart. And that is what a Chacham is able to do, that because of his understanding of the Chachma of Hashem, because of his understanding of Hashem's wisdom, of his engaging in Torah, and so because he's connected on this level, so he understands something, and he says it's my idea, but he understands that it's not really my idea. I got this idea from somewhere higher. I got this. It's a form of revelation. It's not a revelation of Hashem is telling me what to say. It's a revelation of that I understand something, and the reason why I understand it is because Hashem allowed me to understand it. And so this is a shift in the way that God is speaking with the Jewish people, i.e., speaking to humanity. That until the story of Hanukkah, so the way that Hashem would speak to us was through prophecy. That he was just okay, listen up, this is what I've got to say. And from this moment of Hanukkah, so the way through which Hashem speaks to us changed. It's no longer that listen up, this is what I have to say, it's that listen to yourself. That I want you to tune in to your own heart, and I'm going to talk to you, I'm going to tell you what to think. If you really listen to your heart, that that you understand the truth, and I'm the one telling you the truth, but it's going to come through you. And this is something that Rabbi Nachman talks about, he talks about his bodhidos. He talks about that when a person speaks to Hashem, so then a lot of times that this will be an element of revelation, will be an element of Ruach HaKodesh, and he brings a pasuk in Tehillim that it says, "Lacha amar libi bakshu fanai," that to you my heart told me that look for me. So the Rashi says that lacha, that b'shlichuscha, that it was you were talking to me when my heart was saying, look for me. Meaning, I heard this voice inside of my heart saying, look for me, don't ignore me. I feel like you're not giving me enough attention. My heart is telling me. And the David Melech realizes that was you. So this is the essence of Torah Sheba'al Peh. This is the essence of what it means to have this shift, that Torah Sheba'al Peh is that Hashem is not talking to us, not dictating to us what He wants, but rather He's aiding us to come to these conclusions ourselves. And this inspiration is actually Hashem talking to us. Now, there's an interesting thing. There's a book, Mesilas Yesharim, that's based on a brisa, that the brisa says, the brisa of Pinchas ben Yair, there says Torah, maybe it is Zehiros, maybe Zehiros, maybe it is Rizos, maybe it is Nekios, maybe it is Precious, etc. And then, so that towards the end, it says the Chassidus meveli de Ruach HaKodesh. So I thought that Chassidus meveli de Ruach HaKodesh. The Ruach HaKodesh is to be able to listen to your heart. The Ruach HaKodesh is to be able to be in tune with yourself, and that's really the essence of Chassidus. That Chassidus is that to understand that I'm also holy, that my heart is also holy, and that I doesn't have to be. It's not that I would think that this is like Al Derech Remez. I don't. This isn't what Pinchas ben Yair actually meant. But one of the biggest differences between the Litvish world and the Chassidish world is that where do I find God? Where do I have to go to find Hashem? So in the Litvish world, it's all about submission. It's all about you have to be very stark, and you have to be subservient to Hashem, and that it's somewhere else. Just listen. Just you just shut up and listen to what the rabbis said, and stop thinking so much. And in Chassidus, so it's a little bit the opposite. In Chassidus, it's that you want to find Hashem. Just look in your own heart. That's where you find it. That's why in Chassidus it's all about the koyach of the tzaddik. It's even a joke. That in Chassidus there's 1,000 stories about different miracles that tzaddikim do, and they quote, there's a midrash that says the tzaddik goes over Kadosh Baruch Hu Mekayim, that sometimes the tzaddik can decree something and Hashem will listen to him, and so the Litvish people they would laugh at these Chassidish maises and say by us the maife is that Hashem goes over tzaddik Mekayim. That by us the miracle is that when Hashem decrees, that's what the tzaddik listens. And by but there's truth to this. That Chassidus is all about the koyach of the tzaddik. That if I'm really in touch with my soul, if I'm in touch with my neshama, so then I can actually reach high spiritual levels. And that's being in tune with my neshama, and that's the Ruach HaKodesh. Yeah.
Does it mean that the shift was also kind of from going, prophecy was only meant for specific people that Hashem chose, and it shifted to prophecy being accessible to anyone who just tunes into their neshama, so or only specifically tzaddikim? It's
not about tzaddikim. It's about chachamim. It says.
Okay.
It says it's talking about chachamim, and the idea is that you find your voice through learning Torah. That if I'm just gonna sit, go to a mountaintop and start thinking whatever I'm in the mood to think, so then I'm just gonna be spitting out all of my Western culture that I've been devouring for the past 20 years, and that's not Torah. That's just regurgitating Tumah. And that once I get involved in the conversation of Torah, and then that's what it means to be a chacham, to listen very carefully to what the chachamim are saying, and to understand and try to make sure that it makes sense to me. That's the critical thing, is that it needs to resonate with me. The Torah Sheba'al Peh, if it doesn't make sense to you, you're not really learning. There's actually a difference lahalacha. That what's the halacha? If a person reads Chumash in Hebrew, it doesn't understand Hebrew. So is it called learning Torah or is it not called learning Torah? Is he wasting his time or is he wasting his time or is he doing a mitzvah?
Still learning.
So the answer is that it's considered he's learning. If you're reading Psukim, that's considered that you're connecting to Torah. Okay? Because even though you didn't understand it, because the words themselves are essentially Torah. What about if he learns Mishnayos? If he learns Mishnayos, if he learns Gemara, he just reads the words. He doesn't know what they mean. But it's holy. It says Gemara on it. So if it's Gemara, I'll read it. So the answer is that it's not called Torah. The Torah Sheba'al Peh, the Torah is in the Havana. The Torah is in the understanding. And if you don't understand it, it's not considered you did anything. It's not considered that you were at all connected to Torah, because the way to connect to the oral Torah is specifically through your understanding, is through your brain. So when I'm learning Torah, so by definition, my brain is tuning in to the ideas of the ideas of the Torah, and that's why I'm tuning my brain to be in the frequency of Hashem. And then once I tune into the frequency of Hashem, so that's why I'm able to, then my brain itself, it'll start talking like Hashem would talk. And that's the Ruach HaKodesh. Okay, so this is really what Hanukkah is the celebration of Torah Sheba'al Peh. It's the holiday of Lo Nitna L'Kosev. It's the holiday that's completely not written down, because it needs to be completely the light of the oral Torah. And because it's the light of the oral Torah, what is the light of the oral Torah? It is the Ruach HaKodesh. It is the fact that I understand myself, and so this is we're celebrating in Hanukkah the fact that we simple people, even without prophecy, that we're able to connect to Hashem. We're able to be, our intuition is something which is very holy. Okay, so now I'm going to take this a step further, because Reb Tzadok writes that really in the menorah in the Beis Hamikdash that we're celebrating with our menorahs that we light every Chanukah. So there's a beautiful midrash. The midrash says that Hashem says that the menorah is an edus l'bai olam. It's a testimony to the entire world. Shashchina shara b'Yisrael. That Hashem says that why do I ask the Jewish people to make a menorah in the Beis Hamikdash? You think Hashem is scared of the dark? Hashem is like, you need a. Hashem is okay. He says, you need to make me a light. You need to make me a lamp. Like the light fixtures, and Hashem doesn't need a light. So, in fact, in the Beis Hamikdash, it says there's a beautiful thing that usually when you make the way that you make a window is that you want to make it that there's as much surface area that the sun can come in. And so we said that it says in the Midrash that the normal way to do it would be that you have the it would go like this, that the sun comes in like this, and it spreads out into the floor. But with the Beis Hamikdash, it was the opposite, that it starts thin, it starts small, and then it goes out, because the Beis Hamikdash is called Orosh HaOlam. It's called the light of the world. Mm-hmm. And so the light comes from the inside. Hashem doesn't need the light from the outside. The Hashem is the source of light. So why do we have a menorah? So the whole purpose of the menorah is not that Hashem needs the light. The whole purpose of the menorah is that it's edut shehashchina shara b'Yisrael. It's a testimony that Hashem's presence is residing in the Jewish people. So what does this? So what does it mean? That we're celebrating the fact that the menorah is the celebration of the fact that Hashem's Shekhinah is in the Jewish people. So what does it mean that it's in the Jewish people? That it means it's in the heart of the Jewish people. That the whole idea of Torah Sheba'al Peh is that Hashem's presence is in my heart. That when I'm in tune with Hashem, so that my thoughts are actually Hashem's thoughts. My words are actually Hashem's words. My ideas are really Hashem's ideas. And this is the Hanukkah is the inauguration of the fact that Hashem talks through us, and we are able to bring out Hashem's will in this world. Okay, so now there's a very interesting thing in Hanukkah, that if you go out in the streets here, like I was telling you before, that there's a lot of music going on. That Hanukkah, there's an old tradition to have a lot of music on Hanukkah, and there's by this Hasidim that the Rebbes would play violin in front of the menorah, and it's a very old connection between Hanukkah and music. And so where does this come from? So Rebbe Tzadok writes that through Ruach HaKodesh, so Ruach HaKodesh is the source of all song. Okay? And where do we see this? Because Moshe Rabbeinu, that after the splitting of the sea, so was the first song, Az Yashir Moshe. And so how does the first song, how does it start? Az. What is Az? Az is Aleph Zayin. What's Aleph Zayin? Aleph Zayin is 8. So what does it mean? What does it mean that Aleph Zayin is 8? So Moshe Rabbeinu, when he reached this level of Ruach HaKodesh, so that the Ruach HaKodesh that he achieved was a level of 8, and when you're living in the Ruach HaKodesh, which is connected to the world of 8, so then that expresses itself in a song. Okay, and so obviously 8 is all about Hanukkah. Hanukkah is the holiday of 8, the holiday of 8 days, and so the reason why the 8 is a song is because actually the Ashir, what is a Ashir all about? So there's an interesting thing in the Mishnah. When the Mishnah talks about the word shir, it's actually a Hebrew word. Like besides being sung, so the Mishnah talks about but actually we do have it. There's a word in biblical Hebrew that shirayim is a bracelet, and the ashir in Mishnaic Hebrew means a circle. It talks about if you find in El Metzios, it talks about if you find coins that are organized in a shir, and the commentators say that a shir literally means a circle. So why is the song called a circle? Why is the song called a circle? Because a true song is a song that doesn't end. Right? A song that you can have a sentence. If I'm speaking to you in prose, so then I start at point A, I go to point B, and then the end. Okay? But if I'm going in song, if I'm giving you an idea, if I'm giving you an energy, if I'm giving you a melody, so that the melody there is no end, and that's why in this first song, Az Yashir Moshe, so there's a beautiful Sfas Emes. The Sfas Emes says that why does it say in the future that Yashir Moshe? That why is it in the future tense? It should say Az Shar Moshe, that this is what he did sing. Why does it say this is what he will sing? So the Sfas Emes writes that what's the Az Yashir? That when you reach the pinnacle of Ruach HaKodesh, when you reach this level of closeness to Hashem, so then your greatest desire is that the song should continue. That when they reach this level of connection to God, of Dvekut, so their greatest desire, they were singing, but as they were singing, they were just hoping that I wish this moment will never end. And that's what song is. That when a person reaches the level of song, a person reaches the level of Ruach HaKodesh, the level of 8, this is the Az. So then you reach this place that it cannot end. There is no end to what is going on. There is no statement, and then you're finished. Then you can move on. That when you reach this level of 8, then there is no next. There is no that. It just has to continue, and that is why the 8 is the world of infinite. The 8 is connected to the world of infinity, and the world of infinity is a circle. The world of infinity, it actually doesn't end. So part of the Ruach HaKodesh of Chanukah specifically, that there's the Ruach HaKodesh of Torah Sheba'al Peh, there's the Ruach HaKodesh that our intuition is something very beautiful and something very holy, and there's the ideas of Hashem. But something that unique about the Ruach HaKodesh that's being revealed in Chanukah is that the Ruach HaKodesh is coming from this place of 8, is coming from this place of Az, which is the source of all song, which is the source of music and melodies, and that's where this Kumzatzi vibe of Chanukah. This is really where it all started. And now, the last point that I wanted to speak about is that we have by we have by the Hanukkah candles. So we say in Haneros Halalu, we say that Hanerot Halalu Kodashim. Nerot Halalu Kodashim. That these candles are holy. So what does it mean? What does it mean they're holy? So it means halachically. It means halachically they're holy. That there's kedusha. There's kedusha in this candles, that you're not allowed to throw away the wicks afterwards. You're not allowed to throw away the leftover oil afterwards, and you're not allowed to use the light for your personal usage, for your personal things. That's the whole reason why we have the shamash, is because that if it wouldn't be for the shamash, it would be forbidden to use the light coming from the holy Hanukkah candles. It would be forbidden to use them because they're holy. Okay, that's what the holiness. That's how it manifests itself. So what is this? The Haneres Halalu Kodashim? So the reason is, the commentaries say that it's because the Hanukkah candles are actually connected to the candles in the Beis HaMikdash, because there's a very interesting Rashi quoting the Midrash that this is what we read on Zeis Chanukah, that on Zeis Chanukah, so the after all of the karbanot, after all the sacrifices that all of the princes of the tribes, they all brought every one of the days of the beginning of Nisan. So there was a different prince of the tribe brought a different karban, not a different karban, he brought the exact same karban, and then the very next parsha is about the menorah. So Rashi brings that what's the connection? What's the juxtaposition between these two parshas? So he says that after all 12 tribes brought their karbanot for the Chanukas HaMishkan, for the Chanukas HaMizbeach, so then Aaron was very depressed, and he said, "We got all the fun stuff. We got all the beautiful. This is so beautiful that they were able to inaugurate the Mizbeach. I feel so left out." And so
he was worried he wasn't forgiven because of the sin of the Goyim.
Yafeh, right?
Yeah.
They was concerned that there was a kaved on him, and so Hashem says, "Don't worry, Shalcha Gedola Mishalahem Sha'ata Omed V'Meita V'Taneres." That your avodah is even greater than their avodah, because your avodah is that you're going to be bringing the nerot. Okay, and so everybody asked that, like, how is that a comfort? That he does the menorah, but he didn't do the karbanos. He felt left out because he wanted to be part of the Chanukas Mizbeach. He wanted to be part of the inauguration of the Mizbeach, and he's still not be able to do that. So how is this a comfort to him? So the Ramban explains. It's a very, very fascinating Torah, that what Hashem was saying was that you don't understand that the Mizbeach is something that is temporary, because only when they have a Beis HaMikdash are they going to be able to bring karbanos on the Mizbeach. But you are doing something which is even greater. You're doing the menorah, and the menorah is going to still be around even when there's no Beis HaMikdash. And that was a reference to the mitzvah of Chanukah. The Hashem was telling Aaron HaKohen that your ability to bring menorah, to light the menorah, that is something which is going to go beyond the confines of whether or not we have a Beis HaMikdash. This is something which nothing can extinguish this fire. Okay, the fire of the Mizbeach can be extinguished, but the fire of the Mizbeach is invincible. And this is what he was telling him. So that to bring this down to us. So what is this really saying? It is precisely what we're talking about. That the menorah represents the light of Torah Sheba'al Peh. The menorah represents the fact that even if Hashem is going to stop talking to us, but He never stops talking to us, He's going to start talking to us through ourselves. So even when there's no Beis HaMikdash, the karbanot, then you need a Beis HaMikdash. But the menorah represents that even when it stops coming from above, but then it just takes a U-turn and starts coming down from below. And Hashem is still speaking to us, just in a different way. And that is what the comfort of the menorah is, that I will always be in the Jewish people, because you are connected to something which completely goes beyond the confines of anything. And so this is what Hashem was telling Aaron HaKohen. And this is the light. This is the light of This is the light of Hanukkah. This is the light of Torah Sheba'al Peh. And so really what we are celebrating is, we're celebrating the fact that Hashem lights up our hearts, that Hashem is able to give us direction. That what it says when it says that the Lehudim Hayisa'era, that Orah, light, Orah is Torah. That Torah is our light. What do you mean Torah is our light? That Torah gives us direction. That Torah is the thing that helps us to understand where we want to get, what we want to be, and so this is really what the celebration of Hanukkah is all about. It's all about the fact that because we have this light, because our heart is on fire, because our heart is directed by Hashem. So this is how we know what to do with our lives. So this is the celebration that we have on Hanukkah, and that it's a celebration of the fact that our light is invincible. It's a celebration of the fact that the light can never be extinguished.